tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Imagine that it said Wargames, not Head Games.
Yeah, just a little
Wargames. Oh, thank you, Steve. I got it.
Can't take it anymore. Wargames.
Welcome to the NXT After Show right here on AFTERBUZZ TV, in the heart of Dodger Country. I suppose. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If people aren't watching, you're wearing. I'm actually really jealous. You've got a Dodgers hat, but it's written in Hebrew.
Yeah, I stole it.
Really,
effectively, I stole it.
It's really cool.
It's
but did you actually steal it?
Yeah, kinda.
Oh.
It wasn't mine.
Oh, well,
I didn't go to the game and get it.
And now it's yours.
Well, now it is.
Welcome to the show. I'm one of your hosts, Mark B. Donica. You can find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. You can support us and support the show. It's gone. Who needs it? You can support the show by going to nxteam.spreadshirt.com. We actually put up a new shirt today. More on that later. Joining me, speaking of nxteam.spreadshirt.com, he's wearing a shirt from that, and that's the only introduction he gets. That's not true. It's the Hobo.
I'm the official model of the NXT team. at least for today.
So today's going to be a very interesting show. We're missing Bill Handstock. He is dealing with some stuff. Make sure you go to @Sundown Motel. Let him know that you're thinking of him, because we are too. He's dealing with some personal stuff, but he'll be back next week. But until then, we've got the World Series on the screen in front of us.
Yeah,
and
it's if you're watching right now, it's not looking good for the boys in blue. Down 5-0.
We've got 7
in the what are the
second?
That was the second.
Yeah.
It's possible that we come back, but my God, I can't handle this right now.
Just remember, it was 16-17 about a week ago. We're not talking about that. That's something for Dodge's Rep 360. That's an inside joke. That's a joke for Steve.
Oh, okay.
But today was a really light episode of NXT.
Like minute-wise.
Well, minute-wise,
especially.
but also, like, I'd say there's really only one match that had something decisive for, like, the future tonight. You know, that wasn't just a setup.
Yeah.
Like we found out that if you weren't paying attention on Twitter, Regal announced that McIntyre and Almas, their title match that they've been teasing back and forth, is going to be at TakeOver Houston.
Yeah.
Which, all right, cool, and
it was kind of bound to happen at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We're just for time. It sort of has to happen at TakeOver because I don't think this thing has enough legs to take it past TakeOver, and there was no heir apparent to a title match for McIntyre, so it sort of has to be Almas.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to talk about it a little bit more closer to the end of the show. Stop.
I'm not doing anything.
You're not doing
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Totally fine.
But our first match of the night, we see Conti with that Times New Ratchet entrance video.
Yep.
I mean, that's old school. That's old school.
That's old.
But no, there was a little bit here. Either way, it was just a big old scrap, and you were surprised a little bit because Conti, she has this MMA background, Brazilian jiu-jitsu,
judo. They say. I'm sure she's done jiu-jitsu, being Brazilian. You know, you pick up the trade in the country, but she doesn't wrestle like somebody who has that sort of background. She was sort of trying to scrap with Nikki Cross, which didn't work at all. And she didn't set herself apart from Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross is just gonna fight you tooth and nail. Not a whole lot of anything fancy. She's gonna hit you really hard. She's gonna hit you when you're not looking, and that's what she does. But then Conti is not doing anything impressive or anything that gets the point across that she is trained outside of professional wrestling, and she didn't look very good.
Yeah, tonight wasn't the best showing for her. I mean, even presenting her how they did in the Mae Young Classic, and then her first appearance being to interfere with Nikki Cross. And to be fair, everybody should be afraid of Nikki Cross, especially after the Halloween Battle Royal that the women's division did at a house show over the weekend, where she came out dressed as No Way Jose.
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
She scalped him.
Yeah.
But I didn't see any pictures of him from that night. I imagine she took his head off. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
That is frightening.
That is classic her.
It's a very sanity thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
To take somebody's, head and appearance. Yeah. I'll bet they took his credit card numbers, too.
Probably.
How do they fund their organization? It's got to be through some
You can't fund it through madness.
No.
Like, what's the turnover rate on that?
Right. What is the currency exchange?
Yeah, it might be, madness might be cheaper in Germany. That's what it might be. Who knows? We don't know.
Could be.
But, I mean, Nikki seemed like she was in control this entire time.
Yeah.
Like Tanera
even for the few moments that she wasn't, they didn't last very long, and Conti didn't look like she was keeping her down. It was just sort of a moment where Nikki was to just slowed down for a second.
Yeah.
She didn't actually keep her down. She wasn't able to actually influence her physically in any particular way.
Yeah. This was a little bit of a bizarre match, but at least we got at least it seems like we got a closing of this chapter between Cross and Conti from.
This was a definite. Oh, we're done. That's it. Yeah. You get beat that bad, there's no coming back.
When do you think we're going to see Tanera Conti again?
It's really hard to say. I feel like she wasn't brought into this situation because of who she was. She was just a pulse.
I think the Undisputed Era brought her in with a distinct idea in mind. It fit at least her background fit her mythos, and maybe now that since she's been acting and performing in a way that they weren't exactly expecting, they probably dropped her like a bad habit real quick.
Right. So I think it didn't stick. They may have brought her in with a plan, but as soon as that plan doesn't go the way they had initially intended, they drop her, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I don't know when she's going to be back. She wasn't terribly impressive. She doesn't have an affiliation now. She did with Undisputed. I don't know if she does now after losing so badly.
And I honestly don't know how long she's been in pro wrestling other than just martial arts and judo and the separation. But sometimes that transition can take longer for some as it does for others.
She has a good look, I'd say, but more than that, I'm not
badass.
sure
She looks like a badass. Total badass.
I don't know if she does.
You don't think so?
No, because she's not terribly big. She's kind of pretty. She's got a black belt that she doesn't use in the ring.
Black belt widow.
She doesn't use those skills in the ring.
She'll kill you.
So it doesn't quite translate. The idea is not coming across.
Okay. Well, regardless, let us know in the comments down below or on Twitter using the hashtag NXTeam what you think about Tanera Conti and when you want to see her back in the NXT arena. Something that I thought was a little weird, Paul Ellering not prepping with his Authors of Pain. It was a shot of the Authors of Pain locker room, and it came out to Paul Ellering not looking directly at the camera.
Yeah.
It was a little weird.
Just sort of wringing his hands, making fart noises.
Making hand.
I imagine.
Maybe Conti and Cross will show up in Wargames. That's from Jose Quinde. Probably.
Cross
maybe.
Almost certainly. But Conti, time will only tell. That's the only way we could possibly know if she's going to show up in the corner of Undisputed.
Joseph Bose is saying, I wonder if Tanera was brought in just for the women's tournament. She looks like a badass, but not transitioning well to wrestling. They needed spots for the tournament. Maybe. We don't know. We don't know what all those meetings were like.
They like her well enough to keep her around.
And put her on NXT TV directly. Some of the standouts of the Mae Young Classic haven't even showed up on NXT TV yet.
Right. So it's hard to tell.
Shayna Baszler, for goodness sake, the second place winner, so to speak, hasn't been on NXT TV at all. So they see something in her.
I think they're saving Baszler. I don't think Baszler would have fit in with Undisputed Era.
Oh, she would have had wrestled all of them. That's okay. I know.
Well, she definitely could have outfought them, but she's also probably as tall as they are. You don't want to bury that lead,
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
then we've got a look from last week. After the Battle Royal, we had Mercedes Martinez joining Christy St. Cloud, talking about she didn't want to predict who she thought would win, but she knows who's not going to win, and that's the person who can't win the big one. That's Ember Moon. And I'm really surprised as to why she wouldn't tear everybody down, because Mercedes was one of my favorites in the tournament. So to see her not tear down all the 4 people that are in a spot that she deserves, quote unquote, I was really surprised by that. But also, why just Ember Moon? Why not Kairi Sane, who was a direct competitor? Why not Peyton Royce? Why not Nikki Cross, who beat her as an add-on to that Battle Royal?
It's oddly personal, her choice in singling out Ember Moon. She's got I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. Obviously, there needs to be more explanation.
Yeah.
This promo sort of finished with more questions than when it started.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so who do you think is going to win? Well, I know it's not going to be her. Well, why her? Where are you going?
But you didn't answer my question.
Right. You don't.
It was very weird.
And it didn't come off.
Yeah.
That natural.
It didn't come off tough.
Well, she
was
Martinez just standing is tough.
Yeah.
You look at her, you go, oh, that's tough. I don't want any piece of that. But when she opens her mouth, she sounds so uncertain. She doesn't sound she knows 100% what she's going to say, or even what she wants her message or tone to be.
Because she, this was right after the Battle Royal. This is after a couple of heavy losses. This is after the losses in the Mae Young Classic. This is, no, didn't she have one match on NXT? I think she had one match on NXT. Maybe. Either way. Things in the WWE aren't going too well for her right now. She's got a lot on her mind. So having to ask, after losing an opportunity to really take hold of the NXT Women's Division, hey, who do you think is going to win? I would probably be just so in my own head that I would probably wouldn't be able to. I can barely speak like myself half the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird place to be asked any sort of question. So you just lost. Who do you think's going to win?
Yeah.
Screw you. How's that?
Mecca Baloney says they should take improv classes at Full Sail. Do they not?
Not technically.
Yeah, but not like Groundlings improv, right. Stuff like that.
They don't do stuff quite like that. They try and teach them how to speak and how to sort of be in the moment, but they don't. I don't know if they actually do improv type exercises. I don't think that they do.
A lot of people in chat were wondering if this is going to lead to Mercedes and Ember in some way, shape, or form.
Could be.
I mean, we'll talk about it. I mean, we've got another week, but a lot of essentially our card is set. I think we've got the tag champs are set. Even though it's not for the tag team championships,
right? The
NXT title is set. The women's title is set. And then we've got Dream and Black. That's 4. There's probably going to be a 5th.
Yeah, usually there's one more.
Yeah,
but no more than that.
That's a lot of people that are already being used, and weird. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. We're probably going to talk. We're going to talk a little bit more when Bill's back about how we think Takeover is going to go, but not today. Let's talk about a guy that we like. And that's Fabian Eich. Steve, we don't need it right now, but can you bring up nxteam.spreadshirt.com? And we're going to want to show a picture on that, so bring up all the IVGA and all that stuff. But we're going to talk about this match real quick. Fabian Eichner versus Johnny Gargano. Oh, boy. Does Fabian Eichner continually impress everybody?
Yeah.
I don't know how, but you forget. You see that guy look out and you go, oh, he's with Johnny. Because
I don't think Eichner has a look that's particularly distinctive. He's bald, kind of on the shorter side, obviously athletic, but not with a distinct character. However, once you see him get in the ring and once you see him start to perform, you go, son of a bitch, I like Eichner.
I'm a big fan of Ike. I like Ike. Scroll all the way up to the top. The male, that one, yeah. And yeah, that one. I'll call for it in a sec. But this seemed to me like Johnny Gargano just can't. He speaking of somebody who's too much in his own head, I think he's taking all of the audience love and adoration so much to heart that he's not thinking clearly. Because for a guy like Fabian Eichner to just literally walk in and have somebody like Johnny Gargano's number, not to discount Fabian Eichner in any of his experience, but it seemed like any time Johnny Gargano went for the good old Johnny Gargano offense, he hit him with the spear. But for something like this, Fabian Eichner was just like, nope.
I've been saying it time and time again. Johnny Gargano lacks killer instinct. He lacks that thing that makes you really want to do anything it takes to win. And I'm not talking about cheating. I'm not talking about taking cheap shots.
Yeah.
But there has to be the desire to, if you have to hurt somebody to win, you will hurt them. And I don't get that from Johnny Gargano, but I got it from Fabian Eichner tonight, who really was able to outpower Gargano at every turn, because Gargano thought that he was able to simply do what he does to most guys and outmaneuver him. And because Eichner's smaller, go for cross bodies and dives, where Eichner is able to catch him easily and then turn it against him even more easily. Incredibly impressive by Eichner. And then with the agility moves that he possesses, he was able to almost pull off a really, really impressive triangle moonsault.
Jose Kinde in chat says, he's Johnny Wrestling, not Johnny Winning.
Well, God bless him for that.
Yeah. We said it during the Cruiserweight Classic. I want to see more of Fabian Eichner, and it seems like we're starting to. He's got a video. He's got as much as Shinara Conti does, where it's his name and this, and he looks like he's putting on weight and is out of the Cruiserweight class.
Yes.
And
well, I don't know. It's Cruiserweight is a very interesting thing at the WWE because it's a state of mind more than it's a state of weight.
Well, if it's called 205 Live, they're going to take note of the weight class, of the weight limit.
But there are people who are in a 205 range who fight out of the Cruiserweight class.
Sure.
So you got like your Finn Balor's, obviously Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa when he returns. There's actually all of Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
They fight outside of that 205 class. And that's only because they're able to hang, not because of any sort of weight distinction. And
are you implying that members of the 205 Live roster are unable to, quote, hang?
I didn't say that.
Okay. Good.
But there are those who believe that certain individuals within the Cruiserweight class are unable to wrestle others on the roster who are outside of the 205 class.
Yeah. It should be a bonus being able to wrestle for the Cruiserweight Championship belt.
Right.
And you just wrestle.
Right. Well, that's a New Japan type idea.
Yeah.
Is having... There are ways that your lighter weight class individuals can actually beat your heavier weight class individuals. But it's about believing that they're able to do so and not sort of pigeonholing them into, you only fight here, you only fight these guys, you don't go outside of that. But the WWE has done that, still do that with a lot of individuals. And I know a lot of guys are hungry to wrestle outside of the Cruiserweight distinction while still vying for the belt.
Though I think despite having guys like Tony Nese who don't necessarily fit the quote Cruiserweight style that's like quasi lucha libre high flying.
Right.
Fabian Eichner I still think is a little bit different than Nese. I really like Nese, and I like his performance in the Cruiserweight Classic, and I like all of the work that he has done. And that ab window that he has on his entrance attire is really silly. But there's something about Ike. I like Ike. And if you like Ike, let's bring that picture up right about now. You could go to nxteam.spreadshirt.com and pick up this really stupid joke of a shirt that we just made.
Literally.
Yeah, it was. I love it.
From the time that match started to
the time
the show ended, we had to design the show.
And we had it up, and it's all that. So you go to NXT.Spreadshirt.com, and actually, legit, if you go to NXT.Spreadshirt.com, there's a lot of stuff on there. Stuff that isn't necessarily tied to any of us. There is definitely Hobo merch. There's definitely NXT merch. There's Bill merch. There's me merch. And there's just general stuff for various wrestlers. But if you go there and pick up some shirts, if there's a design that you like, it supports us. And that helps us a lot to do maybe a little bit more. Like next week, there's going to be that NXT show.
Vegas and Riverside. 10th and 11th.
Yeah. So we want to head to that. These sorts of things help us do those and bring you more reports of that nature. And right now on Spreadshirt, there is a 20% off deal going. So if you go and you visit the website, you'll see the code for the 20% off. So we've got that. We've got the New Day style NXT team shirt, which I absolutely love. And I'm about to start talking to that artist for some new stuff. And man, we like it and we think it's silly. We've got logo stuff. We've got parody stuff. It's all sorts of great biz. Make sure you go and visit because we appreciate your patronage. We appreciate your viewership. Help us by going that next step. We really appreciate it. And thank you for supporting all of us here at AfterBuzz TV Wrestling and Sports. Make sure if you're not subscribed to subscribe on our YouTube page and go to iTunes and leave us reviews because we haven't had a fresh review in a while. Sorry, what happened? Did he get hit again?
Turner got hit again.
Again?
Again with a pitch.
They're aiming for him.
It certainly seems like they're taking out the guns.
Weird that it happened to Justin Turner. How about that? Twice. Anyway, sorry. Baseball. Hey, so make sure you go to NXT.Spreadshirt.com. It really helps us out. We love you. We appreciate you. And let's get back to the show. So the Street Profits were by a sweet Maz, and not that was bad.
Right in the back.
It was shoulder blade that hurt.
Sucks.
The Street Profits were admiring a car, and for those of you who watch Breaking Ground, you know who drives a Maz. It's Tino Sabbatelli, but luckily we found out the paperwork went through.
Yeah.
And it's actually Sabbatelli and Maz's. They both own the car. That's great.
Hey, that's marriage. That's equality.
Yeah. And like good for them. They're professional
I'd
athletes.
like to see them show a little bit more affection when they're in the ring.
Well,
it's all business in the ring. But if you're a couple, you gotta show.
It varies. Maybe there's like a company statute. Who knows? We don't know. If it's not a part of a storyline, maybe whatever. Regardless, there was a bit of an exchange between the Street Profits and Sabbatelli and Moss, and a little bit of like standard animosity, but it wasn't anything like, I'm gonna beat you up. It was, hey, that's my car.
Well, it was simply Sabbatelli and Moss sort of asserting the fact that they are better, just absolutely better than the Street Profits. Mm-hmm. The Street Profits are, of course, as their name would indicate, men of the streets, men of the people, so to speak. Sabbatelli and Moss hold themselves to a higher standard. They drive Maseratis. They wear the best suits. They're out really to line their own pockets. They're not out to have a good time with anybody. Except each other.
Except each other.
At home.
Yeah. Or out in public. I mean, you can't. You're not gonna take that car and just leave it in a garage. You got to drive it around.
Yeah.
You got to pimp it out.
Without shirts.
Well, I mean, you got to go where people are highly populated, like South Beach.
South Beach. Yeah.
It's a good place. Oh, but there's a lot of foot traffic, so no, that's a little too dangerous.
Well, that's cruising.
Okay.
Right there. Yeah, cruising the Maserati. Oil up, so you get a nice deep tan.
Actually, that explains it because they are ridiculous. They're ridiculously tan. So that means that they drive in the Maz with the top down. I like these boys. Anyway. Sorry. Emergency kittens just popped up.
Yes.
That was really silly. Ooh. So, I mean, what do we want to see? Do we want to see these?
It's gonna be a match.
Yeah.
It has to be a match. But Part of me thinks that the Street Profits could actually pull off a victory, but I think Moss and Sabbatelli, I guess they don't really need a victory. To be fair.
What kind of... I mean, it seems like they've had a lot of personal victories. They drive a Maserati. Street Profits are an up-and-coming tag team, and we talked about how they haven't had a chance to prove themselves against any established tag teams, and Riddick and Moss have been a tag team for at least a little bit longer, so it seems like they're next in line to move up that ladder.
Yeah, Moss and Sabbatelli, they've been at the tag team game for a while now. I'm not sure when their anniversary is, but it should be coming up here pretty soon. Like,
all right, I think we went too far.
No,
we like
no.
you. We're fans of you. Oh boy,
they are effectively now the new Billy and Chuck.
HOV Lane street fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That sounds really dangerous.
Of course, it sounds dangerous. But you know what else sounded dangerous? That what was it? What was the truck match in WCW with Dustin Reynolds?
God,
and...
yes. Yeah, the top of the building, and then the giant died, but didn't.
What?
I think falling off of a roof in a monster truck would kill you.
No, not that. Not that. Where it was like the hay truck.
Oh no! Yeah, no.
That one.
I thought you were talking about the monster truck pull.
No, not that.
Oh.
No, the actual match that happened in the back of a truck.
Oh,
that was just garbage because it never got super fast because they kept having to turn. Anyway, we told you it's a light show today. So we've got McIntyre. So in the back, we see McIntyre signing the contract already, which was a little bizarre. We're like, oh, so it's not going to be a full. Okay, all right, whatever. Signing the contract with Regal, he takes it, goes out. All right, we're going to be getting this contract. It's going to be a man-to-man sort of.
No
interaction. No
shenaniganless sort of.
No
exchange.
table to flip or get bombed through.
Okay.
Or DDT'd. No Regal to shout indiscriminately as he does.
Yeah. He yells when things go badly. He raises his voice.
He does, which we'll talk about later.
Yep.
But yeah, as Drew McIntyre makes his way out, gets attacked by Almas, who signs the contract, grabs gum out of Zelina's mouth, sticks to the contract, and throws it down to stick onto Drew.
That's a special kind of screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you got gum on you. He's lucky he didn't put it in his hair. Oh, that sucked really hard.
Beard Harry's just gonna have one chunk missing.
Patchy beard.
Or like
that would suck.
Peanut butter beard.
Peanut butter beard.
And I'm gonna say this since I am watching the live chat. We appreciate that you're watching. We appreciate that you might be fans of various sports teams. Keep that to yourself.
We don't care about your opinion in that regard.
We're kidding.
You can go suck eggs.
Hey, right now it's very difficult. So please understand.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we've been in Los Angeles a long time, and the Dodgers haven't seen a championship
practically
in 29 years.
Practically our whole lives.
Pretty much. Yeah. So
I mean, I gotta say, the last time they won a World Series was our birth year. So
yeah,
I mean,
we're
due.
Yeah,
we're due.
True that.
Not the team, not the organization.
No,
not
us personally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Year of the Dragon.
This has nothing to do with the Dodgers organization. This has to do with us. We deserve this. We earned that. Yeah. What?
No, he's Year of the Rooster. We're Year of the
Dragon.
No, but 1988 was the Year of the Dragon.
The year of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Get
Hey,
with it.
ladies and gentlemen. That's Steve Ember.
Hey guys. Cheerio guys.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve. In the back, we have the unintelligible Peyton and Billy complaining about how. Nah, that's it.
God.
Make it. Sorry. No. Shout out. Not my colonel, but Peyton and Billy complaining about the Fatal 4-Way match and how Billy isn't in it. They honestly, I couldn't understand half of the stuff they were saying, but they were making
didn't
fun.
Have a direct mic on them.
I mean,
they?
that doesn't always help. Sometimes they get so excited and yeah, a little upset. Puig throwing a bat. Anyway, they're making fun of Kairi Sane. Now she's a pirate princess, and now I will say. It is a little silly that Kairi was walking around the back I mean, her hat I can understand, but with the wheel.
Hey, she's a full-time pirate and a part-time wrestler. So
fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta take those bounties as you can.
She lives that pirate life.
Yo ho.
Yeah.
Yo.
24/7, 365. The elbow.
I'm gonna threaten you with my elbow. And it turns out that next week we're gonna be getting Billie Kay versus Kairi Sane, which I'm pretty excited for. Kairi Sane's gonna beat the crap out of Billie Kay. Actually, there's the possibility that Kairi can beat her up so much to take her out as a factor in that Fatal 4-Way match, because there is no disqualifications. So regardless...
Wait, is Billie...
No, Peyton's in the match. So regardless, Billie's gonna be there.
Right.
So if
it could go the other way around. Kairi, there's a possibility, be it slim, that Kairi gets hurt in this match, and that would really play into the hands of the iconic duo.
Jose Candy kind of on fire tonight. She takes the wheel to make sure no one steals her boat.
But of course, why didn't I think of that?
That makes perfect sense.
Jesus.
But if we can get like an old school Cartoon Network-esque promo where everybody's like leaving the arena for the night and it's like car giant pirate ship. Burp, burp. Wait a minute. This is a wooden galleon.
Yeah.
I got electrical installed. I'm not an idiot.
Oh, well, all right. Well, they're in Florida. You can't tell me there's not water access for a full-size pirate ship.
I mean, in Florida?
Yeah.
Give it a week. It might rain again.
True.
Yeah.
A water table does thrive. It doth. It sure doth.
It Thor does. Our main event of the evening. So this match started with a lot of time left. So we went, this is either going to be a really long, hard-fought match, or a short match with some funny business, and it's a short show, or somewhere in the combination of the two, which it ended up being.
Yeah.
Man, we say it every week, but Alexander Wolf is the best.
He's crazy.
He's becoming the highlight of sanity and standing out, which I think one should. I mean, when you've got such high profile members that the other three are, and you're the quote rookie of the four, you gotta stand out, and boy does he.
He's coming to his own, and we've said it before. But it's so true. He's become so comfortable with the element that he brings to the team. His specific brand of crazy, but sort of always calculated. He never acts completely out of character so much as to throw off the direction of the match. He understands what his energy is, and that's how he applies it. And they were really sanity. Both Young and Wolf were acting as such a quality tag team tonight. Quick tags in and out. Great tag team moves. In addition to combinations, they had the Authors of Pain on the ropes for the opening of this match. They really did have them.
Yeah.
And it was something to see. I mean, the Authors of Pain arguably should have gone out of NXT.
You think so?
At this point, arguably.
I don't know. Leaving that stone unturned, they're not. Even when somebody does debut, they still stay around in NXT to sort of like finish it. Like Bobby Roode debuted on SmackDown, but still came back and got his return match for the NXT title.
But usually, I mean, the return matches aren't at takeovers.
True, but still, like we didn't see them going. I mean, Wargames could do it.
Yeah, it very well could.
Wargames.
There is a possibility that they.
That was a stupid move.
Take it. That Authors of Pain regain the championships, and I actually.
Well, no, it's not for the title.
Oh, that's right.
No, it's because it's 3-on-3-on-3.
It's tough. I mean, it could be for the championships.
They didn't say so.
Rant.
It's right now. It doesn't seem to be about the championships. It's about the battle. It's about the war.
The war.
War games.
I can't take it anymore.
I know. I understand this.
Yeah.
It ends in a big ol' hullabaloo with Undisputed Era coming out and causing a disqualification. Everybody's fighting, causes Killian Dane to come down, causes Roderick Strong to come down with an armband, puts it on, indicating that, hey, Undisputed Era.
Hey, fellow Undisputeds.
Hello, kids. I'm doing it. And ends up going after the Undisputed Era. And seemingly aligning himself with the Authors of Pain?
It's, yeah. That's, yeah. Your voice goes up at the end to indicate a question. And it's a question. But the question is, would the
match
authors,
is signed,
would
regardless.
But would the Authors of Pain take Roderick Strong? Do they want him?
They weren't beating him up?
Right.
That's a pretty good sign. Because they beat everybody up.
Fair. I don't know. Did Paul Ellering, was that why he was in the hallway before the match? Was to talk to Roderick Strong and possibly secure his addition to their specific brand?
I mean...
Could Roderick Strong now be managed by Paul Ellering, even after the Authors of Pain move on to the main roster?
I don't know.
I think that's the best damn thing that could happen to Roderick Strong. Personally. I think that's a great thing. Hopefully that actually happens. But I am so freaking lost as to why he's the third man in the Author's Corner.
It's Roderick Strong! He's the third man!
Why?
Yeah.
The Authors could eat him for lunch.
They probably will.
Start,
That's probably, you know what?
head and feet and meet in the middle and just argue over the entrails.
No, the entire body is meat, not just the middle.
No,
but it seems like, man. Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little bizarre. We're not getting sort of not getting a tag team match, like a tag team title match proper, but this seems like it'll be, hey, everybody shut up about Wargames. So we'll do Wargames match.
I guess.
Maybe. And if Vince wasn't going to do it, Triple H and NXT was going to do it. We're getting a triple threat Wargames match. The two ring. I'm interested to see how the two games, how the two rings work that night.
Yeah, it'll be a real curiosity to see how exactly that operates,
and especially camera too. Actually, it might open up the opportunity for some pretty cool camera work that we're not used to seeing.
They may have to bring in, and we've done it before, special camera operators for this event. They've done it before for other takeovers.
But I even mean just for the other matches, because you have that other ring in there. They're only going to be using one ring, so instead of having, they're going to have roaming on the sides, but then they're going to have somebody at ring level, which is rare. So if they decide, because there's some of those shots that you're going to need, so it'll be interesting to see how they do that. This was a really, really weird show. And a really weird ending, but we've got 4 matches coming to us at Wargames. And it's going to be a show. This also wasn't a show. It's just us containing shouting for about an hour.
Most of the shouting happened before the show, to be fair. Watching the baseball.
Watching various things ball.
But in wrestling, there's generally not much ball play. Not much. Except for
well, I am looking for
Sabbatelli and Moss.
That being said, I am looking forward to Street Profits versus Sabbatelli and Moss, which might be next week, might be the week after. Who knows? Anyway,
maybe they can have a pickup hoops game.
Oh, that'd be great.
It that way.
Oh, like the old school, like MVP Matt Hardy stuff, where it's everything but wrestling.
Yes.
It's like lacrosse versus basketball, and then the best of 3 is a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
Everybody, let us know what you thought of this show by leaving a comment down below. If you watch live, remember once the show ends, none of this chat stays. So please leave us comments. Like, leave the page up. In about a half an hour, refresh the page, leave a comment. That helps people find the show and become a part of the NXT family. So please do it. But until next week, the one and true Hobo, where can the folks find you?
Find me on the Twitter and the Instagram at True Hobo. I got a bunch of stuff coming up on my calendar for November, but I literally cannot remember any of it. So I'll push it next week. Literally can't remember.
But follow
anything.
you on Twitter for more information.
Wrestling Pro Wrestling's like the 16th. Arizona's the 18th.
Mm-hmm. Are you going back to? Is it Championship Wrestling from Arizona?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Championship Wrestling from Arizona on the 18th of November.
Yeah, that's right.
And then other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, make sure to hit up at Sundown Motel. That's Bill Handstock. He is not here today, but send him your love. We miss him here. And also follow me on Twitter at Donica. Make sure to visit nxteam.spreadshirt.com. You can get 20% off your order now
cool.
for like the next 2 days.
Cool.
So please go head over there, support the show, and get yourself a nice piece of NXT gear to confuse your friends.
That's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
Just friend confusion.
Is that? Yeah. But also, make sure to watch Xbox 12360. I got a chance to be on the panel today. We talked about some of the biggest news of the week, as well as some really weird tangents. So please go check it out. It's also on this channel. It actually might be a video like to the side, like down to the right of us here.
Oh yeah, in the thing.
down there.
What do you call that?
Sidebar.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
Sidebar, Your Honor.
Yeah. Anyway, make sure to check that out and also support all of the stuff here at AfterBuzz Wrestling and Sports. If you have a friend that watched any of our shows, any of the wrestling shows, let them know that now it is its own channel and you can subscribe. And that way you get shows as they come and you can watch them live as soon as they drop. Yay! I also do a video game show. It's called Inventory Full. You can find us on Twitch at Inventory Full PT. We stream games. We stream a talk show that's news, gamer culture, all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. And also, if you are fans of animation, check out our Voltron after shows and our Ruby after shows because they've been pretty good. We've had some pretty great guests. And the Ruby after show is going to start in about 5 minutes. So for all of us here, thank you so much for watching the NXT after show. And it's the middle of the game, but we still got to say it. Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.